Hello. Well, it's time for, I probably say, is my favourite segment of this channel, and it's the Blu-ray update video, and sometimes I slash about a couple of DVDs. This month, however, I kind of bought mostly DVDs, and it's mostly a lot of Batman titles. As you're probably aware, The Dark Knight Rises comes out next week on Blu-ray, and I've been kind of in a bit of a sort of Batman mood for the past couple of weeks, gearing myself up for it, but I also bought a couple of other titles, so let's get cracking. The first one is, the film itself is great, but I'm really disappointed in the steelbook of it, and it's Heat. This steelbook version is appalling, to be honest. It's lazy stuff. I mean, the back, I actually like the back of it, but the thing is, it looks like it was just cheap to make, and it didn't look like they put much effort into it. So, I mean, I've got a couple of steelbooks. There's a couple that are, you know, not really imaginative, but you know, they're still really good and didn't look like they were made cheap. This, however, was badly cheap, and I'm quite glad I did get it cheap though for the price. I think I paid like £12 for it, and some of it's going for like 22, like other sort of titles. So I think I'll just buy the standard version of it. The next one I bought is Carilto's Way. Like the first, like Heat and Carilto's Way, I haven't really sort of seen before, so seeing it for the first time, I was very impressed. I like this one a lot more than Heat, but Heat is still a really good film. Probably one of my favourite heist movies I've seen. This was one of my favourite gangster movies, and it's, what I really like is how, you know, Al Pacino is trying to sort of stay out of the game, and the game just sort of keeps bringing himself back into it. I find it's pretty cool, and really good execution as well. Now, as I kind of said, I went and I saw Batman High, and I did say The Dark Knight Rises comes out next week, but there was another Dark Knight film that came out, and it's actually The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. This is based off the best novel by Frank Miller, you know, The Dark Knight Returns, and I was quite surprised they actually did it into two parts, and I think it's very smart because the novel itself is very wordy. I mean, if you may look at it, you may think, oh, it's not really that long, it's not really that many pages, but there's a lot of dialogue in this, and I love the fact they split it. Well, they're splitting this into two films. I heard it was splitting into three. We'll see what the end result is, but I think they do mostly the first two stories from the novel, for what I can remember. It's a long time since I first read it, but this actually became a sort of big surprise. There's two episodes from the animated Batman series, you know, the one it's most well known for, and it's Two-Face, like, you know, part 1 and 2, and Two-Face is one of my favourite villains, and I was really surprised to see it like on this, and there's still quite a lot of stuff on it, so very impressed, and it's actually a really good movie. So the next one is, again, it's another film sort of on like Frank Miller, but this one might be my personal favourite from it, and it's Batman Year One. This is not only the origin of Batman, but it's also the origin of Commissioner Gordon and also Catwoman, you know, free for the price of one. Absolutely love it. I think it's page for page, it's really good. I tend to watch this quite a lot, but this is kind of like my new personal favourite, but I do have another actually, and that one is Under the Red Hood. This is just amazing. It's a totally different version of sort of the Joker, even Batman, but what I love is the Red Hood character. He is actually the one that steals this show really well, and there is a sort of wee few, no it isn't, but other than that, I saw this, I absolutely loved it. I had to pick this up because, I mean, I had to have it in my collection. The next one I picked up, I remember I saw this back when I was a kid, I couldn't remember much, and it's Batman, Mystery of Batwoman. This one is not really that good. I mean, it's decent, I mean, it's watchable, as they say, but it's not really that interesting. The plot is actually, you can see it a mile away, and the Catwoman, well, not Catwoman, Batwoman sort of outfit is very plain and tacky. Like, it's a very cheap version of a Batwoman suit, but it's still pretty fun, and it's basically kind of a film after the sort of animated series of it. The next one, this is kind of the last one, and it's actually not technically a Batman film, but it's a Superman film. It says, right, Superman / Batman. It's practically a Superman with just Batman in it. This one I like, but this one's actually quite funny. Like, Batman comes up with some really good sort of lines in this, and also with Superman, so the chemistry between the two are pretty good. The film, however, I think it's pretty good. It's, again, watchable, but it's kind of like a bit of a mess sometimes. Like, you don't know what's happening, and there seems to be a bit of a time lapse missing throughout this whole thing, so you don't feel as though, like, you know, it's been like quite a while. Like, because 1 minute, like, they're in Batcave, the next minute they're in somewhere else, but somehow a whole week has gone by. So yeah, I still like it. It's pretty enjoyable, but it's, you know, got a few problems. So next one is the last one, and I'll always leave the best for last, or something really good for the end. You probably know I am a huge fan of this series. It's a Pokemon film, right? I hadn't seen this one, and it's Zoroark, you know, Master of Illusion. This film is really, really good. Although I would love to see the sort of Japanese dub version. I think you can probably unlock it in this, I'm not too sure. But it was great seeing the legendary dogs. I'm not going to spoil about the legendary dogs because there's something else. There's actually a kind of like a wee twist in it that I didn't realise, and I'm not really going to kind of ruin it. But this is actually pretty good, very decent, and Pokemon movies tend to be really good. Like, they really are underrated, and I strongly suggest trying to sort of pick this up because it is still pretty cool. And that is that. I honestly think the next one is going to be The Dark Knight Rises. I don't know whether it's going to be an unboxing or just like I'll just have it and just talk about, you know, its special features, because obviously you've seen a review for it. But until then, that will be up in a couple of days, so I will see you guys then.